Welcome back. You are listening to the Mid Morning Talk on Salam Media, and it is 9 minutes past 12. Thank you for joining us. So, this past weekend, the 17th, 18th, and 19th of June, was the second annual South African Black Muslim Conference. Well, now being the second because they could not host the conference due to COVID and the restrictions back in 2020 and 2021. But they have since continued with it, and we will be listening to a few delegates who attended the conference just to get some feedback from them. What was it like? What was it a success, etc. And joining me right now is Sister Lorraine Sambo, who was part of the conference. Assalamu alaikum, Lorraine.
Walaikum salam, Miriam. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, all good. In yourself?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
All right. Now, as a participant, a delegate, and you were also part of organizing, etc., how was this year's conference for you?
I will say that the conference was successful. However, there's just that there and there. But I'll still say that it was successful. Remember the conference like I started just like 2 years back in 2019. So obviously there will be like a lot of faults, a lot of mistakes, and I just feel like maybe like when the conference grow, there will be like a lot of improvement as well. Hence, I feel like it was successful. However, there's some other things that I'll say it was not successful. So basically, I'm saying that it was successful, but then let me just put it like this: it was successful, but then there was just there was like a lot of things that didn't make me happy personally as part of the youth. So
All right. Okay,
like
coming from you, what do you think could have been done better?
So from the conference, there was not like there was not youth involvement. There was just like
Mm,
one representing the youth. Also, it was youth month. It was youth month, or it's still youth month. So I expected like to see a lot of youth being in hands or like being in the conference doing something, not just like being delegates. And then that's just it. From the previous conference, there was just a lot of things that they said that there will be implementations of there will be this and that from the youth. There will be schools from the youth. There will be bursaries from youth. I expected like some sort of feedback or reports from what we have done, from what happened last year in 2019 regarding the youth. This is what we have done so far. This is what
mm,
happened, and then this is our way forward. You understand? But then
yeah.
there was just nothing coming from the youth. Or in a way, I also feel like in our community, the youth it's still sidelined. You understand? Also, when it comes to the leadership, or the selection of the structure, we as the youth, we don't know who represents us. Who's our Amir as youth? Who do we report to? You understand? Who represents the
Mm,
youth? And if the person is there, how do they appoint that person? Because
no.
also going forward, the next conference in 2023, we're still going to be complaining about the same thing. Okay, if there's someone that they have appointed on behalf of the youth, right? If there's someone that they have appointed on behalf of the youth, I think we're also supposed to be told in the conference. So we are appointing Miriam. She will be the blah 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 blah, and then we vote. We vote so that next year we'll be able to ask Miriam, as you have you agreed that you do this and that and that and that. Where is the report? But now, even if they have to appoint people, they don't know. What if they say they have appointed Lorraine, and then Lorraine says that I don't know anything about it because I was not there. You understand?
Mm, yes. So,
So yeah,
so
to
they,
prevent that, I also feel like the appointment of the structure should be transparent. The youth should know what is it that is happening. When part of organizing the conference, I think youth should be there as well on organizing the conference, because when we are thinking about the future, Miriam, in 10 years or
mhm.
in 20 years from now, the organizers of the conference won't be there. It's youth that need to take over. You understand? But then if the youth is sidelined, meaning that even if it's a nation under construction, how will it be a nation under construction without the youth involvement?
Exactly. Very important point that you have raised there, Lorraine, with no youth
Mm-hmm.
involvement. the youth are the future of tomorrow. Where are the youth structures? Why are there no
mm,
youth involved? I mean, we can say that there's one or two performances or poems being recited, but it should not just be that. It should be inclusivity. Youth should be there
yes,
to give talks as well. The youth should be part of the organizing committee,
mm,
and there should also be a a league or youth body as well as part of the
mm.
Shura councils. Now, what are you hoping to see from what was said at this year's conference? I know many people were not very happy with what was said at the previous conference,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
this time something different has been said again. So, what are you hoping to see and being done as well?
There's so much things that I'm hoping that they have said. I just pray that like it all happens, inshallah. Like for example, Shaham Kiza or Babum Kiza, Faisal Kiza, if I'm not mistaken, he has
Hmm.
said he mentioned something about bursaries, saying that we need to have like a stock file as the community where like everyone each and every month plays something, and then in a year we'll be able to offer like a student to okay, go study this, go study this, go we manifest on the science faculty, go study nuclear science, go study energy, and I'm hoping that that on its own, I mean, like it will benefit the youth, and not only the youth but the community as like. And also regarding the right, we are still there on as well. He has said that this is what should happen. So I also believe that will be part of resolution. While we were still on there, then Sheikh Amir Khadiman also said that we already have a student. We already have a student that is in vet that doing biomed, so he will be eligible for the funds and so forth. I mean, how did she apply? What are the terms and conditions of applying? Because we are still suggesting that this is what should happen, or this is what we should implement as black people, where we are able to collect funds as a stock first to be able to find the youth. So if there's already a person already that is there, so it means that this whole thing, you understand, there's no transparency into it. So what I'm hoping for going forward, I'm hoping for transparency, and I'm also hoping for actions as well, not just like talks that there'll be this and that and that and that and that.
Hmm.
We need reports, we need feedbacks that have actions. We want to hear we have done, not that we will. We want to hear
Yes.
we have done this and that and that and that. They've also mentioned the topics on like we should try to have a black schools. We don't want to hear like we should try. We had that on the previous conference. We are hoping that now there will be feedback that this is where we are. It is that we like the school is not yet done because of COVID and but this is what we have started so far. So that's what we want to
Mhm.
hear. And mostly want to see, we want to hear action, and we also want to know how can we assist as a youth.
All right. Shukran so much
Yes, and
for your.
hopefully that the yeah, I'm saying that like
Continue.
hopefully or is sorry.
You may continue. Sorry about that.
Sorry, okay. And I was saying that inshallah, on the next conference, we're hoping to see youth involvement. We don't want to stay there as a youth, just like listening to talks, and we want to be there. We want to see actions. We want to be part of the action. From organizing, from everything, we just want to be there.
Mm. Yeah, no, definitely there
Yeah.
should be more youth involvement and youth inclusion. Apa Hajira Motawung says here, Sister Husna Lorraine, absolutely a very good point. This should be addressed. And
Yes.
it should form part of the discussions as well, not just something that
Mm.
is spoken of and then brushed under the carpet and left until God knows when.
Mm.
So it should definitely be addressed. Lorraine, your message to the organizers, to anyone who is listening.
My message is that I still stay and I still emphasize the youth involvement. And also, if there's anyone who has been appointed to represent the youth, we want to know who's that person, not that necessarily how was he appointed. We want to know. We don't want to hear rumors. We want the organizers to tell us that, okay, so we have appointed so and so to be represent the youth, so that when we have our struggles or when we have our whatever that we want to say, we know how to approach that person and who is that person as well.
Mm. All right. Shukran so much for your
So my
time,
message to the
Sister Lorraine.
organizers, please let there be
Yeah.
more youth involvement.
All right. Okay. I hope the organizers are listening, and all the Shura councils and everyone who was involved have listened to the
Inshallah.
points that you have just raised. Shukran once again, and have a lovely day. Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum.
It was Sister Lorraine Sambo sharing her thoughts on the second annual South African Black Muslim Conference. We are going to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll hear a voice note from Apa Hajira Mutawung, who was also a delegate at this year's conference. Do stay with us.
As some look forward to the blessings and beauty of winter, the less fortunate in South Africa are preparing for the harsh realities that this season may bring. Africa Muslims agencies on the ground distributing blankets, clothing, and other essentials to thousands across the country. Sponsor a winter warmth pack for 280 Rand. Call Africa Muslims Agency now on 011 834 8685. Spread warmth this winter with Africa Muslims Agency.
You know, it's a wonder how kids get anything done these days. With all the distractions, when do they even get time to study? As a mother, all I can really do is make sure they have all they need to perform at their best. That's why I choose to include Sunfoil, triple refined pure sunflower oil with every meal I make. Naturally cholesterol-free and approved by the Heart and Stroke Foundation as part of a balanced eating plan. So whether I'm cooking, frying, or baking, I know every dish will be a wholesome one. Sunfoil, now we're cooking.
Give charity without delay, for it stands in the way of calamities. For child-headed households in Bloemendal in the Eastern Cape, the daily diet consists of white bread and a carton of cheap juice or sugar water, known locally as the poppy water diet. Make a difference to that one child or family. The Al-Fida Foundation has over the past 13 years worked on the ground and gathered the largest database in the Eastern Cape region of Muslim zakah recipients. Phone our offices at 041 484 1288 or visit our website at www.alfida.co.za. The Al-Fida Foundation, your social investment partner. Eastern Cape.
Love is behind all the greatest stories of our lives. And the greatest love of all is Allah's. The first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah are the days most loved by Allah. So give Qurbani in 30 countries worldwide. Give Qurbani. Give love with Islamic Relief.
Breaking stereotypes, moving boundaries, joining hands. Salam Media. Humanity sets the agenda.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. To answer the question, if the 2022 SAMBC conference met my expectations, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, it did. And honestly, I can say the conference, it's in its teething stages. It's not easy, even just the organizing of the conference. So, but I can say the outcome, Alhamdulillah, I am truly happy with it. And we hope that all the resolutions that were made at the conference can be implemented as soon as possible, inshallah. To be specific, the one thing that actually was highlight, actually not one thing, there's quite a few of them, but the main one was the Alimat program that was held on Thursday morning. And Alhamdulillah, when we sat in one room to sit and discuss as the ulama, the muallimas and the muallims from different communities, different backgrounds, we came up with few solutions. And I'm very, very excited in the coming weeks to start actually applying and moving in the direction of sorting out or solving or finding ways that could assist many mu'allimats in different communities. One of the I think two things that we took from the Alimat program that was held on Thursday was that it is definitely a highest need to have mentorship, more like an internship program after every muallima and muallim, the young ones who are graduating every year from different ulums and things like that, to have guidance as they come out. For example, that maybe if one completes from a certain madaris, from a certain ulum, they can be when they come out, they find a system and a program in place already, maybe for 6 months to 8 months, where they can be in the company of one alim who's been in the field for quite some time, to give them guidelines, to show them they can walk the path with the alim or the alima, to know how to work with the community, how to deal with the challenges and the things that face our communities. Because sometimes there's no practicals when you are studying alimat. It is very rare you find institutions that offer practicals while you are studying. So this internship or mentorship program will be a very, very good start, and it will eliminate all the problems that most of the young muallimas face in their communities when they start. So that will be drawn up. And secondly, I think one of the things we are hoping to get to as soon as possible also is training programs for muallimats who are already in the fields, who are teaching, who are already in the field, whether it's 10 years or 20 years, or and those who are already in the communities and doing the work. This training is for them. It will be held in different months, different topics, but the main one that first will be addressed is the inclusion of special needs education, or techniques or ways that can assist us in teaching children who have learning challenges, learning difficulties. In many ways, we are confronted with this in many madaris, in our townships, in our communities, that sometimes you find out that when imtihan comes, exam time comes, some of them are struggling with the handwriting itself, the basic things, for example, or reading and writing itself, it's not in place. Because remember, we only sometimes with the kids for 1.5 hours to 2 hours every afternoon. So those things, there is not much time to assist the children in those regards. So now what we want to do, incorporate in the syllabus of the maktab system and the madaris that we are teaching, whether in the afternoons or in the morning, a way or a strategy or something that may assist the muallimas and the students themselves when it comes to learning difficulties and learning challenges. So that was there's many things that came out from the ulama program, but that is those two. And what excited me also, it is the work that was done by the muallims, alhamdulillah, is in the challenge was given to them in 2019 through the Lovebirds of Faith to address the lobola issue and all that. Alhamdulillah, it's been a good journey in the past 2 years to see them come together, discuss, and alhamdulillah, it's in its finality, and soon inshallah it will be presented to the community. It will be announced, and then everybody can have access to it, and the masail and the fatwa of it will be announced officially, and all those details inshallah will come out. So that is one thing that was very, very exciting, and we are all happy. And from there, we going to be working hard, inshallah. Our muallims, they will be working hard, inshallah, in creating more programs, more platforms where we can discuss masail that affect us as a community, and things that probably they have not been discussed in details in other kitabs. They have an opportunity to break it down for us, for example, as they've broken down the lobola issue, which is very, very exciting. I cannot wait, actually, inshallah, for the media presentation that will happen, inshallah. And from there, maybe they can continue discussing other topics which people are discussing it on the ground. For example, one of the topics probably that will be handled, it will be your traditional healers thing and all that, and where does it fit in Islam, what happens, because it's questions people are asking, and there's so many other things that they'll be discussing, and that will be announced in due time by the muallims, inshallah. So yeah, for me, the highlight mostly out of the whole 4 days was the ulama program, and the other 3 days, the economic development in our community. Also, that alhamdulillah, it was handled very well. The speakers whom our leadership chose, they presented the topics very well. They handled everything smoothly, and I personally enjoyed the commissions that we had on Saturday afternoon. Those were very, very excellent. Also, many, I mean, wow, it was amazing that amongst ourselves, we have so many people with so many skills. So it's one of those things that is going to be collected. They're going to be collecting a database of skills that we have in our communities, especially as a Black community, as a Muslim Black community, so that from those people who have those skills, how do we mentor the next person freely and voluntarily, while we're hoping to build a better economic development for our children or for our communities. And it starts with us offering our skills and our services without looking to be paid for it so much, but offering it so that we build each other. And yeah, so yeah, I would say the conference, it's actually, my expectations were met. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept it. We look forward now to the 2023. But before the 2023, all the engagements that will be happening in between. And I think one of the things also we came up with from this conference is the SAMBC Educational Fund, which alhamdulillah, the contributions and the pledges already have come out, and it's already in the bag, and they are continuing, and we are hoping everybody can also continue into funding that, because alhamdulillah, the leadership has identified already one student who will be benefiting from this, and we're hoping it can grow to assist more and more and more. So there is a lot, but alhamdulillah, the conference, yeah, it's cooler, it's growing, it's toddler days, and I'm hoping in the near future, very, very near future, we will be in a better state than where we are. Or yeah, we are growing, and the unity is coming, and collaboration with other organizations, with other communities, and all those things we are learning. And yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. Shukran, jazakallahu khairan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from one and all, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Abahajira Mudawung, who unfortunately could not join us, but she has shared a voice note of what she thought about the conference, the South African Black Muslim Conference, which took place this weekend. Many hits and misses, but alhamdulillah, it is in its early stages, so that is expected. One of the resolutions, the number one resolution actually, is to establish a task team that will look at economic development models and provide guidelines. You can follow the South African Black Muslim Conference on Facebook for any updates or information that you would like to know. It is South African Black Muslim Conference. You are listening to the Mid Morning Talk on Salam Media. We will be right back.